no matter how many trainings you attend or videos you watch or any of these things, I can promise you the best way to get to know these tools is just to go in and start using them, to play around. None of these tools are things you can break. We have put so many training wheels on everything that even I cannot break any of these tools. And I have tried a couple of times. So these are all things that you can go in and just make a test graphic, make a test this. You don't have to, or you don't have to worry about doing anything wrong, or well, if I do this, is it going to be sent out to 3,000 people? Just go in and get used to the tool. Next month, just as a teaser, the email will come out the next week or two, but next month in December, our informational is going to be about DIY video editing. Here are some apps you can use. Here are some things you can do to edit video by yourself. That rings even more true there. The only way to get comfortable with tools is by using them. You're not going to be a subject matter expert right away by just looking at the tool or looking at the screen. So best piece of advice I can give you is to kind of play with these a little bit. Last couple homecoming housekeeping, geez, oh Pete's, housekeeping points. Number one, schmidtvideoclassroom.com has tons of deeper dive videos into this content. We're going to talk about listings to leads. There are specific playlists on Schmidt Video Classroom devoted to listings to leads, topic by topic. So you can always go there. And then number two, of course, if you guys have questions, please write them in the chat as we go. Again, I'm going to try to keep each topic relatively brief. So I don't want to go too far in the weeds on certain things. But of course, if you have questions, I want to make sure we at least address them, if not answer them right away. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to start diving in. Now, again, the objective of sharing these is that one, you know where they are, two, you know how to use them, but they're all there all of the time. You wake up at 2 a.m. and you're signing a listing agreement, or you have an idea for something that you want to do, you can go right into any of these tools and leverage them right away. So the first one we're going to start with is Marketing Center. Marketing Center is one of the brand's newer tools. I'd say probably the past 18 months, 24 months even. And it has fallen victim to what I feel like, don't tell anybody this, the corporate brand sometimes does, which is release a new product just before it's ready. It's just buggy enough at that point. It's not ready quite yet. And then, so people go in and use it, people aren't loving the way it works. Then they fix a lot of it and it gets into a really good state. But by that point, we've all kind of gone, oh, that thing didn't work the last time I tried it. I say all that to say Marketing Center works really well now. And there's a lot of really great assets in there. And basically what Marketing Center is, you can see I have the square for it right here on my CB desk. But please remember, all of these tiles are movable. So yours might not be, probably won't be right in the front row, let alone number two, but it will be there on CB desk. This is a bunch of pretty easy to use digital and print assets. They're grab and go. They are slightly editable to put your DBA, you know, they should all have our logos on there. But the goal is just quick, as best as possible, grab and go things. So we're going to start by just going into Marketing Center. And I'm going to talk about the state of it now and where we're going with it. So like some of these tools, there's a bit of a wait for the sign-in because they're loading a pretty big program. But basically what they've tried to do here, you know, we get questions all the time about, can you give me a blank and then I can edit it moving forward? Can you create a template for me and then I can make changes moving forward? And the only way to do that, unless you have editing software, is for us to leverage something like Google Slides or something similar to that. What they've tried to do here with Marketing Center is make it so that you have customizable graphics and assets without needing any sort of editing software for photos or videos and stuff. So what we're looking at here is the main screen of Marketing Center. What you've got are my recent projects. So I've been using it for a lot of the holiday kind of graphics. You've got some featured templates. These are things the brand updates pretty regularly. Like, hey, we have a new postcard template you can use, or a new social template, or anything like that. You can go right here to these and pull them, or start with those. And then they have at the bottom here some popular templates. So basically, here's what people have been using when they go here. Now, the easiest one that I've ever used personally is the holiday templates. So you can kind of search by a lot of different things here. You can search by my projects. The easiest thing, in my opinion, to start with on the left-hand side over here is just go to templates, because that's going to show you all of the things that you have on offer. because you don't know what to search for if you've never been in it. So if you go into templates on Marketing Center, you're going to see, unsurprisingly, all of the different templates. I don't know why I think I can do this without my glasses. So you can, from here, filter by what you might be interested in. So for example, I might go, you look over here under the types. I'll try to zoom in. Social, brochure, postcards, flyers, print ads, a bunch of really great things here. But I'm really looking right now for some social graphics. So I'm just going to check that social box. And then it's going to wait for a second, but it's going to show me all of the projects in here that I have available, or that they have available to me specifically for social media. So from here, I can scroll and go, okay, they've got some This Is Home stuff. They've got some dream campaign templates. They have stuff for fillable templates for listing updates or open houses or testimonials. A bunch of stuff here. Some are non-customizable. So you can see here, brand non-customizable social graphics, but they're still grab and go. Some St. Jude stuff. They have some Instagram and Facebook story size content for you. So you can see as I scroll and scroll, there's a lot of different content here that I can work with. Now, again, some of them are grab and go. I can choose one of these. I could go in like the core 4 social media assets. I could say these all look great. These are things that I want to do. These are a bit more, maybe recruiting based, but I could say use this template. It would ask me to create it, and I could basically just save these as JPEGs or PNGs and start posting them. But just for the sake of it, I want to show that you can also take a couple things and customize them. So let's do it this way. Right now I've got it social. Okay, so I'm looking for social media content, but I'm really also looking for something for a listing. I want something that I can post for my properties. So let's see if I can go down here, and then under category here, we can see that there's actually a category for property promotion. So now I've got social and property promotion, and now they're giving me the template specific to those. So I've got a listing update for a team I can use, a listing update for a person, open house templates, all these different things that I can start with, new listings. And from here, I could click on one of these and say listing agent info looks great. I'm going to click use template and say testing 3 and click create document. So this is going to now create a project for me that I can use for my stuff. Let me see here. Wait for this to load. So once we're in here, we're going to have the opportunity to do a couple of things. Now, the only downside I have right now is that I don't have, I'm going to make sure this is true. Back to search. Oh, yeah. So let's see here. So basically, I don't think this will actually be as problematic as I was thinking. So you've got a template here. Now, you could, in theory, start filling in piece by piece. I could pick a picture from my computer of the property, pop it in there, put the listing info in there, put my headshot and logo in there, which is a lot of steps to do. And you can see they have instructions right there. To replace the headline, select the text box. On the left, select a headline from the list of options. Here we can see there are a bunch of different options here. So I can go by English, and I'm going to pick, just for the sake of it, just listed. So I click apply to shape, and look at that. It's taped it for me. So I clicked on the text box, and it gives me all of these different options. Of course, you can just search, so you don't have to filter through all of them, but you have a bunch of options there to choose from. But the other thing I'm going to do, and sometimes this doesn't work for me as an admin versus as an agent, on the left-hand side over here, you're going to see all of the different options you have in terms of pulling information in. I'm going to go over here to where it says, it's not going to let me zoom in on that, property listings. But I'm hovering over it so you can hopefully see the little text pop up, property listings. And when we click on that, I'm not pulling in any listings right now, so I'm going to go back, but I can see a bunch of our listings here flowing in as an admin. So I can see them. I'm hoping that they will populate for me the way that I want them to. But I can take, this one because I used to live near this house. Click on that one. I'm going to click apply to document. And if this works the way that I'm hoping it will, it is going to, well, first of all, you can already see all of that information. There we go. All I did there was I chose the listing, clicked apply to document, and just like that, it populated the listing photo, it populated the address, the price, the square footage as well. Now you can see down here, I have a second line. It says open house other line info. I can remove that line if I want to. I can just highlight all of it and delete it, or I could type something else there. So they do give you a second line there if you want to. but you don't have to use that if you want. But basically, if whoops, I'm going too far. If you go to property listings, it's going to populate and choose your listing, populate a lot of this information for you. And you can see there's a bunch of different templates here. It actually populates that information. Like here's a great version of it right here. It populates that listing information to all of the different images in this project. So now I have not only, and again, I haven't really made any edits besides changing it to say just listed and adding the listing info. I've done nothing else to it. I still have four different just listed templates I'm working with here. And I can make a few more adjustments by adding my headshot, making sure my logo comes into play here. And which again, my admin account works different than an agent's account. A lot of this information should be populating over for you like it did here with Scott, where not only did the listing come over, but his headshot and name and license, all of that came over automatically as well. So when you're in here working, that's as easy as it should be to get some stuff populating over. Yep, Mike, I saw your questions. I'm going to finish the thing and then I'm going to go back to you. I'm not missing it. So this is one of the things that you can do in terms of just listeds. They have the abilities to pull in other things like open houses. You can see if we went back, I think I'd have to go back a whole thing. They have templates specifically for open houses as well that will display the open house aspect of it a little bit more prominently. If I'm done, which again, I'm very much not, but if I'm done here, what I can do is simply go up to the top here, oops, or choose one. I might even zoom out a little bit more here. So there we go. I can see them more. And in the upper right-hand corner, there is, of course, a download button. You'll see it up here. It says it's an arrow with a little U underneath it. You click on that, and it's going to bring you to how to download. So because this is a JPEG, because this is for social, I want to make sure that I don't download it as a PDF because that's what we'd want to use for documents, for printing, stuff like that. But I want to make it a PNG or a JPEG. Either of those two. A JPEG is what we're most used to. That's just called JPEG. Click on JPEG. I want to download all of them, all 1, 2, 3, and 4, or do I want to just download the first one? So you can see I can download all. I can download, graphics 1 and 2. I can download just graphic 1. However I want to do it. Don't have to worry about that part. And then I just click download, and it's going to download that graphic to me. So now I have it right here. Easy to use, right there. Now the logo can be a little bit tricky. That should normally be populating over. If it's not, then I think it's something that I need to chat with Carrie about, because the smart fields are the logos, and these should start by, yeah, see mine. There we go. I've locked it. Worst thing that I can do, I've done this a couple of times, is I've just removed this little, see, it's underneath it. Yeah, part of this is my account being weird. Your logo should, because my other Florida accounts, my logo does pop up right in here, but you should also have access to the logos right over here. So one thing I have done in the past is I've taken this little box here and whoops, sorry, I went to zoom quick. Taking this little box here and removed it. And then if I go over on the left to my images, I can click on the logo and it will drag over to me for me. So again, it's not doing it for this one. My account screwy, yours should work better. If not, then then you can let us know, and it's something that we can check from the permission side on what do you call it, on CB Desk. So again, as they've renovated things, we're still figuring out a couple of the little things in terms of where does this permission actually feed from. Now, Mike, you asked a question about just sold. When you say the data is not feeding through, do you mean the listings aren't popping up anymore, or there's specific data that's not feeding through? Because I've been able to do these with just solds. I've had those listings still pop up in the property listings before. But if there is something else that's not popping up that you think it should be, one, you can always manually type stuff in. But if there's other stuff, let me know now quick, and then it might be something Carrie and I can follow up with to see if there's something missing in the feed. But
yeah, it's just like when I go into like impersonate in Moxi, I'll impersonate agents as the manager. I'll impersonate them and to help them with just listed stuff. The listings always show up, but the just solds don't always show up in their accounts when I go into impersonate them and then try to recreate, a social post for them and say, hey, here's something you can do with this cool marketing tool.
Got
The
it.
solds
So,
don't always show up.
okay.
I
Let me
didn't know if there's something I wasn't doing correctly.
sold data. I'm gonna write down Paradise so I don't forget. Let me dive into that because I know that I've used it before and I have had the sold still popping up. But it was a different region. So let me test it myself and then see if there is something missing or if I just edited it to say sold. Because obviously you could very easily do that. But if you're saying like the photos and information and everything's not feeding over.
Right. Like, so
Okay.
I could, like you were doing, I can add the photos and stuff myself.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side,
But
it
you
doesn't
shouldn't need
show the
to.
just solds where you
Gotcha.
can select them, I guess is what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. That is exactly what. Okay, cool. Let me follow up on that because I know I've seen it do that before. So I want to see if it's changed or something's missing or etc. So I'll follow up on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So other thing I wanted to show really quick within Marketing Center is that this is also where if you I just went back a page. So of course you can also do print advertising in here as well. So you could go and some of the projects here are print. So if I went to templates again, there are some great PDFs. So if I just do, I'll just click on print ad. Of course, I haven't personally worked with these as much. Brochures, I could choose one of these if I found a brochure and I made one. And I would say there are some easier ways, which we'll look at soon. But if I made one of these brochures and you loved the way it looked, you could save the PDF and send that over to our print team to print for you in the house. So the design's already done. The printing is all that needs to be done. You could print it yourself, of course, because that's the power of PDF. It could also, I believe, links with Express Docs a little bit, so you could have them do it. But you can create print materials in here as well that you can then bring to any printer you like. Us, of course, being in my opinion, the best option. But also you can take that and run it to a different printer locally, one online, or print it yourself in-house. Valerie asked if you can automatically post to social from here. And I don't believe they do that from here. I think this is more of a pure content builder. There are a couple more we're going to look at that you can do that. Oh, no, I was completely wrong. I just lied to all of your faces. There is a share button up here with a little paper airplane. So it'd be share. Again, I haven't personally used this share tool before, mainly because I'm using it on multiple accounts or moving things around. But apparently it does look like I could share to Facebook or post it to Facebook. So yeah, it does look like there's a way to do that right within the editor. It would be right up here. Where did it go? Oh, it disappeared for a second. But right up here across the top, there's a share button that you can use. Last thing before we move on real quick, I wanted to show you guys is that this is also where you can access the custom video editor that the brand has been talking about in a lot of their marketing materials. If you are in Marketing Center, like we are here, upper right corner, if you click New Project, it's actually going to bring you right here an example to say custom video. And it's going to open that up for me. And here's where I can use the custom video editor that we've talked about previously. And leveraging the brand's videos, editing your own a little bit, adding just your info at the end. But that's all right here, all within CB or within Marketing Center. And again, to access that, all you have to do is go into Marketing Center, upper right corner where it says New Project, and then click Custom Video, and you can work on the editor there. Remember that those videos are free to edit unlimitedly. I think that's a word, until the end of this year. And then they've said there's going to be some sort of new price point or something in the new year, but we have no information on that yet. So I would just take advantage of it while you can. Last thing I forgot to mention about Marketing Center. So where we are now with this, they're all here. All these templates are here. They're great. Once you get the hang of it, your information's populating. They're pretty easy to use. But the problem sometimes with stuff from the brand is that once it's there, it's there. And if you've used it, you've used it. You don't want to go back into this home buying and selling options campaign and just start reusing that over and over because, well, I've already done that. What we're able to do as the marketing group is we're actually able to upload our own designs and templates into this Marketing Center for everybody to have access to. So one of our initiatives for the new year is to create more localized templates that you can use from us, but within Marketing Center. So that instead of saying, hey, here's a graphic you like, or here's a graphic with, let's just say because it's snowing today, or it's very snowy, a graphic here that has your contact info on the bottom. Hey, if you want this customized, come into the marketing group, we can, change this or change that. We're going to be able to upload those templates right into Marketing Center. So you can go in, choose that, and it will automatically populate that for you with your contact info and logo. So there's no need to wait for those. There's no need to reach out to have them customized. You can go in, have it pop in and download right away. So that's one of the things we're working on for the next year, making sure that their uploader works, because that's been the biggest pain so far. But we're going to be able to add our own templates for you to edit, and we can, because it's us, we can do it more frequently. We can refresh things more. We can add more content to make Marketing Center more valuable. Okay, moving on to point number 2. Oh, I'm supposed to stay in CB desk. Dang it. Oh, I do. I still have it right. Oh, darn Zoom. Here we go. Right here. So the next thing I want to talk about in CB desk is Market Quest, but a specific feature within Market Quest. Now, I've talked about this before because I really, really love this tool, but I want to make sure that you know it exists. Market Quest is a tool here in the apps, again, just right here, Market Quest, where the goal of what this does is takes a lot of your local market data straight from your MLS and compiles it for you. You've heard me. I had a meeting with an agent who I saw on this call right before this one, and we talked a bit about market data, making sure you're sharing that market data, and whether it's through social, whether it's through farming, however you're doing it, making sure people know what's going on in your market. And up until this tool was released, the best way to get, because people, I think it's Redfin or something, they have some sort of market data calculator, like here's what's going on in Punta Gorda today or this month or whatever. But all of us understandably are like, well, that's Redfin. That's not, directly. We don't know if that information's super accurate, or of course anything from the Z word. We don't know if that's super accurate. The best way to get that information would be to go to your MLS and download the information, the solds for that month, the data for that month, do all the math on it, and then compare it yourself to the month before, month previous. I remember it was either 2 years ago, or it must have been 2 years ago, or it was either that, or it was this past fall when I was down in Florida for Innovation Exchange, traveling around. I was talking about BombBomb and doing, a newsletter and market reports. But in that presentation, I specifically said, all you have to do to get this information is go to your MLS, print it out, look at some of the info, and then et cetera, et cetera. Then the brand introduced Market Quest, and they do all of that for you now. Market Quest connects to your MLS. You can see for me, it's connected to Mishrick, which is the one in West Michigan, and it will do all of that compiling for me. And there are a few different ways here. You can see that there are 4 different platforms here I could leverage with it. Number 1 claims market position, market trends, and market snapshot. But I want to specifically talk about the market snapshot because it's the easiest to grab and go. Number 1 claims is kind of a tricky one sometimes, because basically they find every specific way you can claim to be number 1 in your market, which is a really helpful, it's great marketing, but it's like, we're number 1 in this market between these 2 streets in terms of sides sold for the first 3 months of, it can be kind of granular, but it's all legitimate with the right disclaimers and the right information all backing it up. So it's very cool for that. The other 3 are all just about market info. So market snapshot's the easiest. It's the easiest and it's the quickest. Market position and market trends will take a lot of that info and really dive deep into it. So market trends will give you a full report. Market position will show you where that information puts you against other competitors within your MLS. But market snapshot is the easiest grab and go. So I'm going to click on market snapshot, and it's going to basically generate a graphic for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm connected right now to Mishrick, which is the Michigan MLS. So I'm just going to type in Rockford, and I've got a couple more filters I can run here. Get my dang glasses again. Location filters, we don't really need that because we've already chosen the city, and you can search by county, city, or zip code. Report filters, single family homes, townhomes, and condos, great. Now, here's the thing that I'd be careful about. It defaults to the time period of monthly. And what it'll do is it'll essentially compare that 30-day or that month's data to the past 90 days. So it's going to give you, you'll see some arrows and stuff in a minute here. But the trick that I found out about Market Quest is that when I default to monthly, if it was December 4th and I said monthly and I said 12/20/23, it's only going to run data for those 4 days of December. It's not going to run from the past 30 days. It's going to run for literally those calendar days of that month. So right now, when I'm looking at monthly, it's the 28th of November. That's basically the full month. It's not quite there, but it would give me some pretty good data. However, if it were the 10th or the 9th or the 14th, it'd only be giving me about 2 weeks of data. So That's why most of the time, if you're in right now, I'm going to do monthly because I feel like that's pretty okay in terms of the end of the month. But you can also select a custom date range. So if today was December 4th, I could go here and say I want the data from October 4th to November 4th. Let's just say it was November. So that way I can make sure I'm getting the full 30 days. But I'm going to choose monthly. Price range, I don't really do anything with. I want kind of the full market snapshot. Of course, you can make it a luxury market snapshot if you wanted. And then I'm going to click update. And it's going to go into my MLS and pull all this information over, comparing the month of November to the previous 30 days. And you can see or sorry, 90 days. And it says, here's the disclaimer at the bottom, based on information from Mishrik for these property types for the period August to November. November stats are compared to the previous 3 months average. Source data is deemed reliable, but not guaranteed. And again, normal disclaimers you need there. So they're going to shoot out this graphic for you. And we've been trying to get some more updated backgrounds in there. It's because it's not our tool. It's proven harder than it needs to be. But we're trying to get so we have a few more background options for you guys to play with. And first thing that you can do here is one, take in the data, right? You can go, okay, it's got median sales price, median list price, average days on market, number of properties for sale, and month supply of inventory. 5 great data points. You might go, you know what? This point isn't super important to me, or that point isn't that impressive, or whatever it is right now. If you scroll back up to the top, there's actually something right here that says edit data points. Oh, and the other thing real quick is you can see it has my info on the bottom. And if I go up here to edit data points, I actually have the option to remove any of the points that are on there currently and add any of these points on here. You can only have 5, and you have to have 5 for the graphic, but I can go, hey, you know what? The median sales price to me doesn't really make much sense, but I think the average list price does. Or the number of properties for sale is kind of interesting, but for what I'm using this for, I'd rather show new listings this month over the past 30 days. So you can take this and play with it however you want, because it's going to show you the data and the percentage change right there. You can just say, hey, I want as many green arrows as possible, or something like that. And then, of course, at the bottom here, this is why I said the thing about my contact info. You can also remove your agent info. Now, there's no reason why you would probably want to do that, but you can remove that if you want. But I've chosen those 4 or 5 pieces there. I click save. It's going to update it for me in a second here. And then after I've done that, what I can do, there we go. Yep, it's updated it for me. I've got this graphic here. There's a bunch I can do. 1 and 2, I should say. If I go to share snapshot, this big blue button over here, share snapshot, I can email this to somebody directly, easy peasy. Or there are 4 different ways that I can download this. Numbers 1 through 3 are all social media based. I can download a wide version. I can download a tall version, like for a story. I can download the normal square version. I'll just click square, download right there for me. I've got this graphic I can use just like that. You can also download, I should say, a PDF, a postcard. So I go download postcard, and it's going to download a PDF for me in the shape of a postcard front that, again, you can take to the marketing group and say, hey, I have the front of this postcard made. I'd love to send this out to my area. Can you help me create the backside and send it out? So it's equipping you with the info. The third thing, though, that you can do, and I've talked about this before, so I won't dive in too far, leverage this information for videos. I think a market update video, monthly, every other week, weekly, however you're going to do it, I think that is one of the best and easiest ways to break into video, because you don't need to come up with the information. The information's there for you. So you're not coming up with anything, but it's ever present, and it's information people want to know. What's going on in this market? We're going into the winter seasons in the Midwest. What's going on? We're ramping up in Florida. What's going on? Providing this info can be great. And if you want to do a video of it, whether it's bomb, you have a setup, however you want to do it, you can have this info right there in front of you. You can have it on the screen while you're recording. You can have it on your phone, maybe, kind of put here while you're recording. You've got a lot of options, but you pop it up there and then you start talking and you say, hey, JD here, wanted to give you the update for the month of November, how it looked like compared to the last 90 days. Pick 1 or 2 points. You don't have to do all 5 because that can be a lot. But then what doing a video allows you to do is then explain to the consumer what that means to them. So I can say, hey, the average list price was up 17% and the average days on market was down 12%. Here's what that means to you as a buyer, or here's what that means to you as a seller. The data is great, but without context, a lot of people, remember, like, you're all licensed, we're all licensed. those people out there don't know things as well as we do. We can look at this data, ingest it, and know what it means. But to someone who maybe they're looking at buying their very first home, maybe it's been 10 years since they've bought it in the market. Maybe they've been confused by all the stuff on the news about what's going on in the market. You have the opportunity to go, here's how this affects you. Here's what this means about the market right now. Here's what I can dispel, or here's what I can confirm. So doing a video with this info also allows you the opportunity to explain and give context to that stuff. And yeah, Mike said Christoph Chu. So I don't know if you guys don't know who Christoph Chu is. He's a realtor, is a Coldwell Banker realtor out in, I believe, Beverly Hills. I know out in the LA area, but I believe he specializes in Beverly Hills. One of the top realtors on the company, like worldwide. Coldwell Banker. He uses MarketQuest. Sometimes he'll do the custom background things on like you can see on TikTok and stuff. But this is the data he uses, and it's there for all of us to use right away. Any other last quick questions on Market Snapshot? Again, this one is probably the easiest to just after this training to go in and start using, because you just pick your area and time period and then you got it. But any other questions? All right. So let's keep it chugging. We've talked about Marketing Center. We've talked about Market Snapshot. I want to talk about something without the word market in it, which is Listings to Leads. Now, like I said earlier, there are tons and tons of things in Listings to Leads that we can use. We talk about this a lot. We talk about using your listings and using the listing landing pages. But there are a couple other things in Listings to Leads that we don't talk about all that much that I want to make sure you guys know about and are aware of. So number one, probably one of the easiest things to talk about is their social content feature. Now, this is 18 months, 2 years, somewhere in there, 1 to 2 years old. So it's crawling now, or maybe even walking. It's got to be walking. I should know they're walking. But what you can do within here is you can actually schedule content on social media unrelated to what's the word I'm looking for? Unrelated to Listings to Leads content. Now, as a quick reminder, I think this may have been what the chat was just about here. This is not something you would get to from CB Desk. Listings to Leads is not something provided by Coldwell Banker Corporate. Listings to Leads is provided by Schmidt family of companies. So other Coldwell Bankers out there, this is not something they necessarily get as part of their being with this brokerage. If you want to, so when you are onboarded with your office, this is something that's created for you, an account created for you. If you want to sign in, you literally go to ListingsToLeads.com, ListingsToLeads.com. And there you should already have a username and password. If you don't know what that is, if you don't remember, it's one of those emails that can so easily get lost in the shuffle of onboarding. Ask your ASC, ask your admin, and they can either give you that info again, resend the welcome email, or reset your password for you. So that it's not something you'd get to through CB Desk. There, of course, is a square for it in Schmidt Resources. You go to Schmidt Resources, go to Technologies, and you can click on it right there. Easiest for me is literally go right to ListingsToLeads.com. And actually, let me do incognito quick to show you. ListingsToLeads.com. When you get here, do not do a 14-day free trial. Do not do a free trial. You already have an account. If you don't know how to get in, it's just that you need the login info. But if you're ever at a screen within Listings to Leads where they're asking you for like credit card, you're not, like here, you can back up a little bit. And keep in mind, these are the prices here. Up to even at their lowest level, $60 a month is how much Listings to Leads costs. So call it $720 a year minimum. Let alone the more listings you have, the more expensive it becomes. And all of the tools that we have included that other packages don't. We have an old relationship with these guys, and we always get some of the first dibs on certain things. So the social content over here, if I click on it, you can actually set up relatively generic but social content for your social media for free, easy peasy to go. All you have to do is basically pick the categories and pick the days and times you want them to post, and then you're done. So let me actually share the learn more, because I'm not going to connect that for this agent, of course, but I want to show you how you can do it. It's very simple. So you go to that screen that we were on just there, which was the social tab, and you're going to click Let's Connect Your Social Accounts if you haven't already. You go on to step number 2, which is connecting the actual accounts that you want to connect, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Once they're connected, I'm just gonna pass that. You got two steps. One is choose the categories of content that you're interested in. They have a bunch of topics that pop up. You can choose as many of them as you want, I believe. I don't know if there's a maximum, but you can choose some of the things. You can scroll and say, oh, I love interior design. I love storage space stuff. I love living rooms, whatever they are. Pick however many of those that you want. And then it's going to ask you, the last thing it's going to ask you is, what days and times of the week do you want us posting to your social media? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 7, 10 and 7. That's what this screenshot has. You can choose every day. You can choose one day. You can choose 2 times, 1 time, whatever. Choose when you want it to be. Click perfect. And then what will happen, you want to make sure their updates are there. But then you're going to see that little calendar page we were just on start to populate with a bunch of content for the future. And you'll say, okay, cool. This is stuff that's going to start going out on my social media without me having to do anything. Now, couple of things I want to say about that. One, or maybe 3. One, it's so nice because then you'll know stuff's always going to go out. You're going to have something going out. The listings to leads part of this is super reliable. I wouldn't worry about like it not happening as long as it's connected the right way. However, 2 quick caveats. Number 1, this is not the kind of content that I would say your social's good to go now. Don't even worry about Facebook anymore. It's going to be it's going to be funny things, good things. Like the content is great, but it is absolutely what I would call supplementary, right? Any links that people click on, I'm pretty sure actually have your contact info, but this stuff's not going to be personal stuff, building relationships with your clients. It's great, again, supplementary or extra or fluff stuff to make sure you always have stuff going out, but you also want to make sure that you personally are present on your page, that you are posting, that people can see you through video, through photo, whatever. It's great content, but it is not, oh, I have this set up, my social media is good to go. And then step number 2, or point number 2 that I always like to say about things like this is just make sure that, even though it is all automatic, you can go in and see what some of the content is coming up so that you can go, oh yeah, this is great, or oh yeah, no, I don't want this, or I would change the way that this is worded, whatever. So you can still go in and look at some of the content, which, especially if you're doing this for the first time, I think it's important to have a somewhat good idea of what it's going to look like, what's going on my page, what does it look like, so that if people start asking you questions about it, you have a good idea of what's happening. Can we upload a template from CB Desk Marketing Center? I'm not sure about that, Valerie. If you wouldn't mind, shoot CJ an email. I'll put her email in here, cj@schmidthq.com. She is the subject matter expert on Marketing Center, and she can answer that question for you. I am not 100% sure, but if it is possible, she can also help set up the template the way that it needs to be, because the files that we upload are specific Adobe files. So even if it is possible, you would still need a very specific file type to be able to do that. So the social content thing is a great part of it. Also, just real quickly before we move on to the last topic, within your listings, there are a lot of other tools that we're not always leveraging. And a lot of that's totally fine, but I want to make sure you guys know about some of these tools because there's a couple I've had questions about recently. So you go to your listings, you go, yeah, I want to market my listing. So you click on the listing. And a lot of what we do, most of the time what we talk about is we just go, hey, not just, but we want to go, hey, I want to leverage the social media post for the landing page for a Facebook campaign, right? So we'll go to, let me get the page up here. We'll take this landing page, or we'll take the single property website, post it to Facebook, run an ad for it, and get leads. And that's the bread and butter of what Listings to Leads has done and always done. And it's a great tool. And there's nothing wrong with this. This is a keep on going, keep on keeping on. I do just want to make sure we are aware of some of the other tools that we have, or that you have in Listings to Leads. So again, all I did was I went to listings, I clicked on a listing, and now on the left-hand side over here, I have all of these options available. All of these options here are things populated for me automatically by Listings to Leads. Are all of them great? No. Do you need to use all of them? No. Do you need to use Craigslist or WordPress blog posts? No. However, there are some here that to me are sort of like secret, I don't know what the word is, secret, hidden secrets for Listings to Leads. One of them, for example, is the QR code. So I'm sitting here in Listings to Leads. I scroll down. They generate QR codes for me for every single listing. So whether it's for a postcard, a flyer, anything that you want to send out, I can simply download this QR code. In any of these versions, you'll probably only need one of these top two, and then put it on what I need to, send it to the marketing group so that they can use it on your print that you're trying to do. But they have automatically generated QR codes that will send you to the landing page for that property. I don't know if my screen is blurred, so I don't know how well this is going to show up, especially when I'm sharing a screen. But I clicked on it, and it brought me right to the landing page on mobile. So you have ready to go QR codes sitting in there for you to use. The other thing that I actually think that I'm a huge fan of that I think is really underutilized is the open house sign-in form. Now, this is the perfect example of a great thing and a crappy thing. So they have a print version of an open house sign-in form that you can download and have a stack of at your open house. This to me looks pretty boring. It's just not, I mean, you've got a whole marketing department. Why would you use something like this? But the info is great, right? Your name, info, what do you think about it? Great idea there, but there's no reason to use something like this when you have some really beautiful stuff you can do with the marketing group. However, their online version, I think, is awesome. I've seen tons of agents using iPads for sign-in or using some sort of tablet or even laptops I've seen once, I think, for sign-in as opposed to the handwritten form. What you can do with this link right here with the open house sign-in form, you can have this pulled up on your tablet or whatever you use for your open house sign-in, and this is the form now. So on their way out, this is what they're filling out. Like, very well, it looks okay, not well, whatever the answers are. And then, of course, there's a session here. Are you working with a realtor? Yes or no. So they have that there. But they fill this out. They click submit. They're going to get an email, and you get their information into Listings to Leads as a lead, and then therefore into Moxi Engage as a lead as well. So this is really cool. This looks really nice. It's got the photo as the background. They also have an option for you to send me 6 things to check before buying a home guide. This is a PDF guide within Listings to Leads that they will send out with your information automatically put into it. So we're not going to spend we really got to move on to the next one, but I do want to show what one of those PDF guides look like. I don't know if I'll find that specific one. But let me just see. I'll just do this one real quick. Download the English version, and see if it preserves. But again, this is another hidden feature we don't talk a lot about. All of these PDF guides are sitting in here for you to use at any point for ad campaigns for yourself. So I downloaded that one PDF like I mentioned, and here's what we have: the guide and their information is at the bottom of every single page. So here's a 7-page guide on short sales built by Listings to Leads with your information custom branded. So again, really, really cool things there within Listings to Leads that we don't talk about a lot. We've got the QR codes, we've got the PDF guides, and of course, we've got the open house sign-in sheets. Very last thing I want to talk about with the time we have left is Moxi Impress. I know we're going fast. Again, the idea is, hey, these exist, go use them. Within Moxi, hopefully you guys should be getting these emails. If you get a new listing, you should be getting an email from Moxi. And last office I checked with, they were all getting the emails. An email from Moxi saying, congrats on your new listing. I don't remember specific verbiage, but click here to see the tools you have available or the ways that you can market, et cetera, et cetera. So you can go through that email, or within Moxi, you can go up here to Impress. Now, this isn't going to ask you to like show off your best skill or anything like that. It's actually going to bring you to a tool here called Moxi Impress. Moxi Impress functions, in my opinion, relatively similarly to Marketing Center in terms of it can create a lot of stuff automatically for you. However, I think it works a little bit better. Now, if you remember e-marketing from a few years ago, welcome back. Same tool, purchased by Moxi and made better. So you can go in here and make some, these screens might actually look a little more familiar to you, where you can start from a design and add some stuff and make the stuff. This to me is not what Moxi Impress is good for. So I wouldn't worry about this. Moxi Impress, my professional opinion, is about listing designs. It's not there's some options for personal marketing. I'm not a big fan. Moxi Impress is about designs or listing designs. So if I go to listings, well, I already had it up for another agent, so I have to go, oh no, I think this is right. So when I go to view my listings, or if you were to get that email from Moxie Engage and say, hey, welcome, you know, here's your new listing, it's going to say view projects. And I believe I chose this Riverwoods Road one. And I clicked view projects on that property. We click on the tab again. And it's going to show me all of these projects that they've automatically made for me just because the listing went live. All of these print projects, social media graphics, that is literally the definition of grab and go. Now, it looks like this home has recently had a price improvement. But if I go to click on any of these, like if I just click this one right here, social media post, price reduced, I'm going to click on it and I can click preview so I can see what it looks like here. But it's going to give me, this is one of the easiest ones to use. It's going to give me a social graphic with the listing proper or the property image. It's going to give me the info at the bottom, the new price and stuff like that. Good to go. All I have to do is click download and it's going to download the image for me. That was grab and go with nothing to do. So Mike, I guess I'm gonna have to talk to Carrie then, because it must be an issue with your MLS if sold information isn't feeding. Because again, same deal here, sold should be feeding. So I'll talk with Carrie. If we go back to the listings though, what do you mean that one does not add the property address? That one I'm pretty sure. Well, that template, maybe that one did not have it. Oh yeah, this one didn't. So I guess there are some templates that don't have the address on it as well. I was maybe looking at the project title, but it gives you a graphic that you can use. And again, when you post it to social, you can write whatever you want above it as well. You can also edit the designs if you want to. I want to see what text, if we go over to the text section. So you could go in here and add that yourself if you wanted to add the address. But again, you can put that in the social ad itself as you are posting it to Facebook. So if we go back to the listing, where did we go? I don't remember which one it was. So that was an easy social graphic that I can make. The other thing that you can do, and again, I could change this headline here. It says new price. I could easily put the address in there if I wanted to put that somewhere else. I've got all the listing info feeding over there. And that's just one of the designs that we have. Let me go back few times to make sure it's easier. From here, we also have, they have e-postcards, so basically emails that you can send out. They have 2-page flyers. So if I click on this one flyer here, this is a 1-page flyer. And if let me just do, what's the easiest way to do it? I'll just download the PDF to show us, making sure it looks as good as possible. I can download these PDFs. I can go in and say, hey, this isn't the photo I want, so I can change this. I have seen very many, I've seen a lot of agents using this tool as soon as they hear about it. We did one agent training on it in one of our offices in Michigan, and I think I saw about half a dozen agents using it the next day because it's so nice and easy to use. So if I left click on it, there we go. So here's what one of the PDFs can look like. Open house. Again, if this is obviously promoting an open house, it's got the address, it's got the listing information, it's got some of the marketing bio that's pulled over, more listing photos, and then Daniela's information at the bottom. Beautifully presented, formatted, all the right colors, logos, everything. You don't need to change anything about that if you don't want to. But of course, as mentioned, if you do want to, you can go in and say, hey, the thing looks great. I just want to edit some of the photos. So I can click edit, go to photos, and then it's going to let me choose from all of my photos here which ones I want to change. So, you know, photos 2 and 3 here look almost exactly the same. I can just say replace photo 3 and choose another one from there as well. But the nice thing about these, about Moxi Impress specifically, is that you get the emails when your listing is live and once all the information is updated in or feeds over to Moxi. So you're going to get that notification saying, hey, your stuff's ready. Let's go use it. So it's taking one extra step away from, oh, I don't need to try to remember to go do that. It's going to be happening for you regardless. So again, you have the options to use other project or so to use their create from scratch projects, but it's these listing things that really make the biggest difference to me, in my opinion, because you've got these folders for every property. I can go in, see all of the different options I can make. They do have videos, but they're really just a slideshow of the photos. They're not my favorite thing, so I'm not a huge fan of those. But really, the social media posts are great. The graphics that you can grab and go. The print materials as well. And similar to what I was talking about with Marketing Center, if I take this jumbo postcard and I go, wow, this jumbo postcard looks great. It's the front and back exactly as I want it. See if it'll show me the preview here. Yep, preview looks great. Front and back looks beautiful. I can download the PDF and send it to the marketing group, or print somewhere else, print locally. You also have right here the option to connect directly into Express Docs and print it that way. So again, as we start to get, we're already hitting an hour. I thought we'd say 30 to 45, but you guys know me. What's nice about this is that these are all things that are happening automatically. You don't need to go in and add a new listing. It's just going to be there. The content is ready for you to do. Once it's in Listings to Leads, all of those options are available to use right away. Market Snapshot isn't even reliant on listings. You can just go grab that data at any point and create social content for it, have just the knowledge. Maybe you're not even going to use it for content. You're just like, I want to know some of this stuff when I'm talking out in the to clients, to prospective clients, stuff like that. And then of course the Marketing Center is all there, and we're going to be able to add more content as well soon. So again, overarching goal of highlighting some of these things from a high level is, we may have heard the names, you may have heard Marketing Center or Snapshot or sorry, Market Quest, but do you know what they do and know where to find them? So hopefully at the end of this hour, you at least now know, well, here's what they generally do and here's where I can find them. But again, this listing right here, this top one, there are 24 projects for it. We did not go through 24 projects there. When I'm in Listings to Leads looking at something, when I go to the listing for a specific listing, well, one, you see all the different PDF guides there. You see all of the different tools up here. There are so many pieces to a lot of these, to Marketing Center. Again, there were 3 different sections of Market Quest we didn't even touch. These were high level overviews, but getting in there and exploring them yourself is going to be the best bet, because then you can see more of what they do. You can go, hey, this really works for my workflow. This really fills in a gap that I was missing, or it doesn't. This doesn't do what I need it to do. This isn't going to be helpful for me and my business. But the goal, last point I'll say before I ask for questions, the goal is not for you to use all of these. It's for you to know that they exist and say, this one's going to help me, or this one is, that one not so much, but that's what I've really been looking for. So again, 4 different high-level tools, all available to you right now, all available to you 24/7 in the middle of the night, on the weekends, whenever you're thinking, oh, I want to try something new. Marketing Center, Market Quest, Listings to Leads, and Moxi Impress are all there for you to use. Create content, post stuff, make new things.